Kid Cudi and ASAP Rocky. Wow. All right. It's been a minute since we've actually had some studio projects from the both of these guys. It's been about 6 years, going on 6 years now with ASAP Rocky. And the last studio project that Cudi has now dropped was the Man on the Moon 3. He did have a soundtrack project with Intergalactic for the animated series, which was a pretty solid project. I thoroughly enjoyed that one. Um, but yeah, it's been a minute since we've actually had an actual track from either one of these, and we finally are getting a Kid Cudi album now. So I'm pretty excited to get into this. There's a lot of tracks. We got about an hour worth of new music, um, minus a couple of singles, lead up singles. So we shall jump right into this. Wow. ASAP Rocky, Cudi. Let's run it.
Wow, wow. I must say, life is amazing these days. I guess you could say this is the new and improved me. You gotta love it.
Got some DJ drama.
Yeah, blown up in the air, you know I'm living wow, wow, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Never cared, she looking wow, wow, wow. Wow, boy, wow.
I just tripped a dream, I was flying, gone. Flying, see the sunset fall.
First off, Cudi always kills his fucking choruses. Like, he always makes some of the catchiest melodies. He hasn't missed a melody in a while, honestly. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I haven't lately heard a bad melody from Cudi in quite some time. He's been pretty on top of that throughout his whole career, honestly.
I just tripped a dream, I was flying, gone. Flying, see the sunset fall. Finally found my piece of demon cease to haunt me all night long. All fucking night long. I get up, she ready, gotta grab her waist so steady, baby. Your sexy waist, my babe.
Yeah, blown up in the air, you know I'm living wow, wow, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Never cared, she
It is nice to hear that Cudi is finally finding at peace with himself. I mean, he's been throughout his whole career of very much struggling with, his demons and all this. So it's glad that I'm able to hear that he's finally getting some peace in life and able to finally overcome this. Over all the years that he's been putting out music, he's been struggling with that for quite a time. So it is very nice to hear that. Also, I mean, Cudi's Cudi's got one of the most unique styles when it comes to approaching his lyrics. Um, he always has like just a very great harmony going out throughout his entire track. His melodies are always top game, but his his verses and everything between the way that he does his ad libs and his verses and how he fluctuates his verses, he does a very good job at being able to carry like a really catchy melody throughout his tracks. Like not only just his melody, but his verses are very well put together and like structured as well.
she impressed, she love it, saying wow, wow, wow. Wow, boy, wow.
Wow, wow,
Got it
wow.
extended in my jeans.
Let's go, Rocky.
Yeah, my dickies got the crease. I got kisses on my cheek. I got glitter on my teeth. Latest go y'all. Me and my vamp bait. Got our own handshake. These niggas can't stomach me. Gotta go get a mandrake. If I pull my tool out, bet she gon' fix it. Yeah. Take
Okay. So I think he's finally addressing Drake on his latest project with All the Dogs, because I think he had not only one but two shots over at Rocky in that project with him and Rihanna. And yeah, gotta go get a mandate. That's crazy. Yeah, no, he's finally addressed that, so that's kind of nice to see.
Handshake, these niggas can't stomach me. Gotta go get a mandrake. If I pull my tool out, bet she gon' fix it, yeah. Take the YouTube route and she go vixen, yeah. I like my drinks egg, call them niggas broken. They broken, can't fix it. That girl call me Big Drip, she like the way I mixed it, yeah. Been this truck, when I'm pulling up, oh Ferrari 545, shorty down the slide.
I love Cudi's style and the fact that he found a very good track for him and Rocky to kind of jump on, because Rocky's always got that like very atmospheric and trippy kind of sound, and so and Cudi too. To be fair, I mean he's had a lot of that as well, but the fact that they had like such a modernized version of a track for both of them to kind of hop on, and they did a really great job on the production on this one so far already. I mean, especially towards the end of that Rocky verse, he really had that.
When I'm pulling up,
that sound
going. 545, shorty down the slide.
Yeah, they really killed this production on this one.
Windows tinted, we all in it. Watch that boy pulling up high.
Switch up.
It was wrong. Watch me surfing. Heaven knows I'm just a soul's on the search to find his home. No, my angels got me, yeah. Drinking, playing sad songs. Something strange is going on. Something strange is going on. Seen the devil try to creep up on me, dog, and I got nowhere else to go. Swimming all alone, and I'm sticking to the code. Don't feeling low. I'm twisted all up in my.
Ooh, he floating on this.
When we talk that shit.
Mm-hmm.
It only gets better from here.
Wow. Kind of encompasses that track right there. That was a really great track. I think one of the best things that I like about Cudi in his last two projects that he's had with Man on the Moon 3, INSANO so far from what I've heard, and I would even encompass Intergalactic in there, is I like the fact that since he's kind of taken a little bit of a hiatus and came back into the music and all, I think one of the best things that I really enjoy about Cudi's new music is his production and how he's modernized his sound to this, new generation and how it sounds currently. I really do enjoy his nostalgic feel of his old stuff as well, but I really am kind of curious and interested to see that how is he supposed to integrate his new modern sound of the current stage of hip hop and rap, and how he's integrated his own kind of spin and taste into the new modern version. Like I said earlier, the melodies, he always kills his melodies. I think it's one of his best strong suits. That, and I would say his hums is iconic. I mean, you can't touch Cudi on that. I don't think there's another artist that. No. One of the other things that I really enjoyed about this one is the beat switch that he had, kind of towards the end of the Rocky verse. There was two things that they kind of did with the Rocky verse, which I found really great. Is one of the facts was they took out some of the hi-hats and percussion out of the end of Rocky's verse, and it kind of really put a lot of emphasis on what Rocky was saying, and it really brought a lot of emphasis to his verse towards the end there. And the flip that they did kind of partway into his verse as well, it's just very tastefully done. Rocky's always had kind of a trend, I guess you could say, with a lot of his songs, especially with his features, that he just kind of always has like a one-off part in his song where, they kind of cater the beat a little bit more towards Rocky and switch things up, and I really do enjoy that they kind of integrated that style into this one instead of having the whole entire track kind of the same the entire way through. So especially for about a 4.5 minute song. So, and another thing that I really enjoyed about this one was in the final verse for Cudi, he had they switched up the drum pattern that they had going throughout the entire track, and then eventually kind of brought it back in towards the end and tied everything together. But I really did enjoy the switch up that they had in the percussion, and it did bring a different feel to the song, and it kind of switched the mood up of it and the tempo about all of the track for a while. So I really enjoyed that. And one of the big things that I was kind of looking at the lyrics. One of the big things that I read towards the end in Cudi's third verse there, he said, "Heaven knows I'm just a soul who's on his search to find his home. Know my angels got me." And then he also said, couple lines down, he said, "Seen the devil trying to creep up on me. Dog, I got nowhere else to go, swimming all alone." Kind of tying this back into I believe it was the first verse that Cudi had, where he said, "Finally found my peace. These demons cease to haunt me all night, all fucking night long." Again, like kind of reiterating what I said earlier is, I'm glad to see that he's been able to overcome and, face his demons throughout his life that he's been struggling with for quite a long time now. Whether that's, addictions and all the other stuff that he had going on. But it's great to see, especially towards the end in that third verse where he refrains to those, you know, it's tough. It's tough. I feel like everybody's got their demons. Everybody's got their own set of problems, and I'm glad that he was able to finally move on from that and be able to now be living in a peaceful state. But those lyrics at the end, they're really impactful, and especially for myself not only, but for other people that I also know as well. Everybody struggles with their own demons, and um, the part where he was saying, he knows his angels got him. Sometimes in the darkest of points, you just gotta have some blind faith and trust, that somebody else, a higher source, whatever you want to believe in, somebody's got you, and that everything's gonna work out the way it needs to work out. That bad times don't always last forever, and there is a way out. There is hope. So, and then talking about the fact towards the end, he's saying, "Seen the devil trying to creep up on me, got nowhere else to go, swimming all alone." It's that's, I feel like everybody's kind of experienced that at some point. It's one of those things that everybody faces in life, and um you just kind of feel backed up against the wall, nothing, nowhere else to go. And so I'm really, again, I'm really glad to see that Cudi's finally getting over that and finally seeing the light at the end of the tunnel for his life, because there's a lot of things that artists see, or a lot of people don't see about artists, in the background. There's a lot of things, trials and tribulations that these artists face, and they don't really show or portray that in their music. Some do, some don't, and these are everyday struggles that everybody faces. Artists or not, we're all human at the end of the day, and everybody faces their demons. It's just a part of life. So but on that note, yeah, this track was really great. I thoroughly enjoyed this one, and I'm excited to start diving into some of these other tracks, because I haven't really given this besides some of the singles that I've heard, I haven't listened to a good majority of this album. So I'm excited to start diving into this. This was my first track listening besides the singles. So that's it for me. If you enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe. Peace.